Yes, I hear you. What's happening? Anything I can help you with?
I overheard your comms with Glay. You're doing something with the fungus, right? If we collect enough fungi, will you be able to make an antidote or antibody that gives us immunity?
Of course. Although it may take some time, it's not impossible.
Great idea. Kate, if you have any questions during production, get in touch right away. And remember to be methodical. You make mistakes when you're rushing.
Wait. That was over 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was back then.
Our objective is to secure as much fungi as possible. Let's hurry. If we have an antidote or antibodies that give us immunity, the mission will become much easier.
In order to quickly produce immunity antibodies, we need data on the antidote mechanism, stored in Albion. After comparing the data we have with Albion's existing data, we can either imitate it or create something similar. But since we need the data to be transferred safely, we need you to protect it.
Repeater is destroyed, things are going to get very difficult for us.
Good job. The data transfer has been completed. All we need to do now is wait. In order to quickly produce immunity antibodies, we need data on the antidote mechanism, stored in Albion. After comparing the data we have with Albion's existing data, we can either imitate it or create something similar. But since we need the data to be transferred safely, we need you to protect it.
Things are going to get very difficult for us.
Good job. The data transfer has been completed. All we need to do now is wait. Using the material you gathered, I've made an antibody that gives immunity from the Order's most commonly used toxin. But because of time constraints, I haven't been able to conduct any formal clinical trials.
So we're the guinea pigs.
This will be an excellent opportunity, Kate. You'll be able to collect data on the side effects of the antibody on the descendants.
Glay, I don't think we should joke about it.
You sound just like Jin. Adorable. Thank you for your hard work. Don't worry, I know how capable you are.
I heard you worked on my arcane neutralizer. I'm sure it'll be effective against the toxin again.
You can trust me. To be honest, I tested it on myself at the clinical trial stage. I'm fine, so as Descent.
What did you just say, Kate? Do you know how dangerous that was?
Glay, the Descent.
Lighten up, Glay. Thanks to Kate's efforts, we can continue with the operation.
Glay, this antibody will help you to stay strong for this operation. After all, it will give you immunity, and I've tested it on myself.
Let it go this one time. But never again, you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Kate. Really.
Now that everybody has the antibody, let's go get that iron heart. We can't let the Vulgus take this one, too.
If everyone is ready, I will lead the way.
Guide, can you sense the waves emitted from the iron heart?
I can. However, my scans show there is a space deep beneath this area. The energy waves are being dispersed by a metal device installed by the enemy. It will be difficult to determine the exact location of the iron heart.
Damn it! Not only did they spread their toxins everywhere, they installed this as well.
They most likely intended to use it to transport the iron heart they found.
According to the layout analysis results, the location of these readings is identical to that used for tombs and altars. If I compile all of the data we have gathered, there is a high probability that this is the tomb of one of the ancestors who died during the Civil War. The fact that they were laid to rest in such a deep location, either they were an ancestor of a high status, or they played an important role in the incidents related to the Iron Hearts. I've identified a Vulgus communication frequency being transmitted nearby. It will likely contain information we need. We should investigate. The Iron Heart isn't here. The Vulgus came to excavate the remains of the ancestor. They plan to use this to open the ancestor's vault.
I don't understand. The remains of an ancestor or a vault? What do you mean?
If the vault contains an iron heart, it may have been placed there intentionally to prevent someone from claiming it. The reason the Vulgus have extracted DNA from the remains is likely because the vault can only be accessed through a bioscan.
If that's the case, then the occupant of this tomb is the same individual who locked the vault.
That's correct. They must be planning to use the DNA to allow them to bypass the biometric authentication and claim the iron heart.
I've disabled the Vulgus data repository for now. And I've also collected the data formatted sample of the remains.
Well, that's a relief. I can't stand it when things go according to Vulgus plans. Let's deal with these bastards quickly and get moving.
This is Alpha. Comms have been stabilized. All units return to Albion to prepare for the next operation.
success of this operation will lead us to victory.
We've confirmed the transmitted data. There's a vault where the ancestors kept the Ironheart. We can use this to our advantage. The Vulgus will need time to crack open the vault. Enzo, send the sample of the ancestors' remains received from the guide to Anais and tell her to hurry. We need to analyze the DNA and activate the biometric authentication before the Vulgus do. And to do that, we need to increase our combat forces in the field. I'll send any off-duty descendants, rendezvous with them at the outpost, and proceed with the operation.
Jeez, why am I being called in? I thought I'd be getting some R&R. Making me work with crazies thinking they see a ghost. Nah, I've got other things to do.
Jeremy, there's an Ironheart in this zone. Have you forgotten that finding the Ironheart is the #1 priority for all descendants? Also, since you've been assigned to a mission, you should conduct yourself properly. Continue to be uncooperative, and I will report you to your superiors.
An Ironheart? Oh, man, why didn't you say so from the start?
Humanity is very weak. That's why humans need us so desperately. Wanna feel a chill?
So, what's my role? Cook? Or arsonist? So...
I'm Eckert, from Data Intelligence. How can I help you?
Get to the point. I only picked up bits and pieces earlier. I didn't realize it was such an emergency. An Ironheart. Right in front of us. Whew. The place will... Alrighty. Shall we get this...
If the Vulgus are on the verge of opening the vault, then they'll likely report to their superior, Corel.
In which case, we'll need a way to tap into their comms. Guide, check and see if there are any ally devices nearby we can use to wiretap.
There is one ally communications repeater. If I modify the code, it can be altered to enable wiretapping.
That should work. We should spread out and continue with the mission.
This is Enzo. There is a Vulgus generator somewhere in this zone. These generators are the main power sources for the enemy's comms devices. We need to find the enemies who have fuses, take them out, and use the fuses to disable the generator. A unit with a fuse has appeared. Another unit has appeared. Grab that fuse. Disable the generator. Enemy reinforcements have arrived. Stay focused. Powerful enemy unit has appeared. Be careful. The enemy comms devices should be shutting down shortly. Excellent job.
As expected, the enemy has discovered our location.
So that's why Alpha's upset. Oh well, it can't be helped. We have to do everything we can. We may even be able to appease him if we bring him some useful info.
I have reviewed the enemy's communications logs. The Vulgus are in the middle of a large-scale operation in Timberfall to collect organic matter. They have deployed these units to prevent any interference with that operation.
What is there for them to extract? Timberfall is literally just a logging site.
There is a giant tree there that might be worth looking at. It's been there since the time of the ancestors.
I thought that tree snapped in two and died during the apocalypse.
It is broken, that's true. But we're not certain it's completely dead. It's such an ancient tree. We can't rule out the possibility that its roots are still alive. We have to figure out exactly what kind of organic matter the Vulgus are extracting. Let's go. It's done. Great job.
Let's meet at the Timberfall outpost. I have some information I wish to discuss. I will be modifying the communications repeater code from this point on. Even though the code has been modified, the current output isn't strong enough to penetrate the enemy's classified communications grid. If we were to overload it, we would be able to increase its accuracy, but the Vulgus will be able to track our location.
I know that will make it challenging for you, Descendant, but you'll need to tough it out. Don't have a choice. Guide, increase the output.
Surveillance accuracy has increased by 40%. All communications content is being stored. Surveillance accuracy at 85%. I will try to maintain a level that will not cause the device to malfunction.
Thanks for sharing the surveillance info. Fortunately, Alpha's just called us in to explain the overload. He is furious. Well, maybe just upset that the equipment is being pushed to its limits. I'll try to mollify him.
Those order bastards planted some kind of device here. We'll need to open it to find out what it is. But let's send it to Kate first and get her to analyze it.
Successful. Beginning decryption.
I'm loading.
Accelerating decryption process. Descendant, we need to prevent the enemy advancing. I was able to hack into a section of the data. I've discovered that it is a substance administered by Vulgus of the Order of Truth. It appears to be a type of booster that activates toxins in the body. Attempting access. I will disable their security protocols.
I'm loading.
We have to destroy the upper section of the device. That way we'll be able to find out what they're hiding inside it. Huh. They were afraid we would destroy this, so they hid it. It's been smooth sailing up until now. Keep your guard up.
Security protocols have been disabled. Descendant, destroy the upper section.
That should be good enough. Great work.
modules will make you stronger.